Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanacharya Yamunatira Vanacharya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanacharya Yamunatira Vanacharya Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gora Premanandi Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudiraye Nasta Prayesha Vadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 3, Text 11. All right.
Asanga nishita jnana nala vidhuta sheshmalanam bhavat svabhavanam atma ramanam muninam anabhadata padigunata gunagana padama mangalayana gunagana katanosi.
Haribo. Okay. Okay. Okay, please repeat word by word. Asanga, by detachment. Nishita, strength. Jnana, of knowledge. Anala, by the fire. Vidhuta, removed. Ashesha, unlimited. Malanam, whose dirty things. Babals, Swabhavanam, who have attained your qualities. Atma Aramanam, who are self-satisfied. Muninam, of great sages. Anavarata, incessantly. Parigunita, recounted. Gunagana, O Lord, whose spiritual qualities. Paramamangala, supreme bliss. Ayana, produces. Gunagana Katana, he, the chanting of his attributes. Asi, you are. Dear Lord, all the great sages who are thoughtful and saintly person incessantly recount your spiritual qualities. These sages have already burned up all the unlimited dirty things, and by the fire of knowledge strengthened their detachment from the material world. Thus they have attained your qualities and are self-satisfied. Yet, even for those who feel spiritual bliss in chanting your attributes, your personal presence is very rare. Purport. The priests in Maharaj Nibi's sacrificial arena appreciated the personal presence of the Supreme Lord Vishnu, and they considered themselves very much obliged. The Lord's appearance is rare even for great saintly persons who have become completely detached from this material world, and whose hearts are clean due to constantly chanting the glories of the Lord. Such people are satisfied by chanting the transcendental qualities of the Lord. The Lord's personal presence is not actually required. The priests are pointing out that the Lord's personal presence is very rare even for such elevated sages, but that He was so kind to them that now He was personally present. Therefore the priests were very much obliged. Om Magyana Timirandasya Jnana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in darkest of ignorance, and my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble and respectful obeisance unto him. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, the sages were really feeling transcendental bliss by having the presence of the Lord, which is very rare even for greatly advanced sages who are free, who have cleaned their heart from all dirty things. And they are satisfied just by hearing, chanting, and remembering the good, wonderful attributes and qualities of the Lord. But even for such greatly advanced devotees, to have darshan of the Lord is not a common thing. Not at all. So, That is the proof that the sacrifice was pleasing to the Lord, that the Lord make his appearance there. So, and that is for previous yugas, Treta Yuga. But in this Kali Yuga, nobody can perform such sacrifices perfectly, and chanting the mantra perfectly without the minimum mistake. It's not possible in Kali Yuga. There are no such qualified brahmanas. Previously, they will light the fire with mantras. They don't need matches or anything to do that. Now they use tricks. They put something in the fire. Yeah, I've seen it in South India. They put something in there so it may appear that the fire came by itself, but it's not real. It's just show. So anyway, there was one such a great yagya in the heavenly planets, and all the devatas, sages came to take part in this great sacrifice to please Lord Vishnu. And even Yamaraj was also present there. So, and the fire yagya was so perfectly done with so much love and devotion for Lord Vishnu, and the perfectly sung mantras, by the very qualified brahmanas, that Lord Vishnu himself appeared from the fire itself, mounting on Garuda, blessed everyone with his transcendental darshan. Or everyone was in full ecstasy offering wonderful prayers to the Lord. Nearby there was a small bird eating something on the grass, looking for food. And Yamaraj turned his face and looked at him. The small bird got frightened. He went to Garuda. He said, "My dear big brother Garuda." Yamaraj looked very, very intensely at me. I'm very much afraid. I think he wants to take me, to kill me, So please help me. Garuda said, how can I help you? I want to help you, but let me know how. Well, please take me to a very high mountain in the universe, the highest one. Okay, the Loka mountains, very high mountain. Okay, climb in my back, I will take you. So he took the small bird to this great mountain very far away in the universe. And then he came back and he approached Yamaraj and asked him, why did you frighten my little brother, by looking very intensely at him, He got very, very afraid. And Yamaraj smiled, no, it wasn't my intention to frighten him. I was surprised to see him here because this evening I have an appointment with him in the Loka mountains. And I was asking myself, how this tiny bird is going to reach there? His destiny was to die there. And Garuda said, destiny is very strong, You can't escape your destiny, no matter what you do. But the good thing is that Yamaraj told Garuda that because of this small bird association with you, his destiny changed. Now he's not going to die there. Rather, in the next life he's going to become a great devotee by your association. So one moment of association with a pure devotee can bring about the greatest benefit. When Prabhupada was coming from Mexico to Venezuela in the flight, Shutakirti was the servant at that time, and he forgot to bring prasad from the temple for the flight. It was 5-hour flight. But one lady gave Shutakirti something, folder, some prasad for Prabhupada. Oh, thank you. So as soon as the flight departed, Prabhupada said, "What is the prasad?" Shutakirti asked, "Prabhupada, do you want something from the airplane?" Prabhupada said, "No, we should have our own prasad." Okay, so It was an aluminum folder. He just opened it in front of Prabhupada without plate or anything like that. And there was muri inside, puffed rice with peanuts and spices. So, although it wasn't too much, Prabhupada ate only half of it. And he told Shutakarti, you can take. So Shutakarti, he shared it with another devotee next to him, Paramahamsa Swami. So anyway, they were eating happily the Maha Prasad. And suddenly, a young stewardess passing through, without saying a word, she grabbed a bunch of puffed rice and bumped it in her mouth. Oh, this is so tasty. Not very professional, stewardess, not even asking permission, and this is so tasty. What is this? I never tried this in my life. Oh, no, this is puffed rice. They were a little nervous, That wasn't. But Prabhupada was smiling at what she was doing. He was he was pleased that she did that. Anyway, so they explained to her what it was, offered food, and she said, "That's everything you're gonna eat? Well, we are vegetarian unless you get us some fruits. We will not, Oh, okay." She went to business class and brought a basket full of fruits for Prabhupada and the devotees with plates and knives and everything. And then after a while, she came back and asked, "Do you like something more?" And Prabhupada said, "Yes, very hot milk." So she ran away and brought a big jar of hot milk for Prabhupada and the devotees. She served Prabhupada and the devotees like that. Shutakarti said that when he traveled with Prabhupada, different temples, at the temples, devotees will fight each other to have some of the Maha from Prabhupada's plate, and not to speak of doing some service, personal service to him, He said sometimes devotee offered bribes to him. He never accepted, he said. Anyway, when Prabhupada was in Venezuela, I remember Shutakarti will come out with the plate of Mahaprasad from Prabhupada, and we will line up, and he will give us a little something to each one in the line. That was the daily custom. But one day, one devotee was at the end of the line, and he wasn't sure if he was going to get anything. So he walked out of the line and jumped on the plate. The plate fell on the floor, making a big noise. We all jumped on the plate trying to get something, So hearing the commotion, Prabhupada opened the door of his room and took his head out to look what's going on. And when he saw all of us, trying to grab something, he smiled, And I could grab a piece of chewed orange from the plate. And immediately I took it immediately, didn't waste any time. Anyway, so the stewardess, she stole the Mahaprasad and she did service to Prabhupada. And because of that, her life changed for good, to say. We didn't come to know nothing about her until the 80s, when devotees were doing book distribution in the border between Venezuela and Brazil. One devotee knocked on somebody's house, and a lady came, and he offered the books. She said, yes, please come. I'd like to buy these books. And when he entered the house, she saw pictures of Krishna and Prabhupada, said, wow, how do you know about this? Oh, I was a stewardess, and I met Prabhupada on the flight, and I served him. And she told all the story. She said, and I started visiting the Los Angeles temple on my flights, and I became a devotee. I chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 rules, everything. And that's one moment of association with a pure devotee. Change your life for good, forever. That's the power of the pure bhakti, pure devotion to the Lord. So the Lord was very pleased with the sages and brahmanas, and that's why he appeared in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabi. But such presence is not is not required, Prabhupada said. Unless you have a great eagerness to see the Lord. That eagerness is not something easy to attain either, you know. At the beginning of the movement, Prabhupada was staying in one apartment with devotees, and Govinda Dasi was like secretary, and Sudama was there, and he entered the room to bring something, you know, water and some clothes, something. And Prabhupada was chanting, and he was crying. He was crying. So Sudama silently went out of the room and went to speak with Govinda Dasi. Nectar of Devotion wasn't published yet at that time. So they didn't know about static symptom or anything like that. So he asked Govinda, what's happening to Prabhupada? Something bad happened to him, he's crying. He's angry at somebody? No, Govinda Dasi said. He's having a relationship with Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. It's crying for Krishna. Oh, okay, thank you. I didn't know. So she again asked him to take something in Prabhupada's room. And we entered, Prabhupada still was crying, you know, and chanting. And when he tried to get out, Prabhupada stopped him. Sudama, come here. Do you know why I am crying? No, I don't know, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, because of the mercy of my Guru Maharaj, now I am seeing Krishna. When Sudama heard that, he started crying himself. Prabhupada asked him, why are you crying? He said, Prabhupada, I don't know. You are such a great devotee, pure devotee of the Lord. I'm so fallen. I don't know how I came in touch with you. I mean, I don't deserve this. Prabhupada said, that's all Krishna's arrangement. No? So, of course, if somebody learned the science how to cry for Krishna, it's a science, not artificial, of course, not to be imitated artificially. If one really cry even once truly for Krishna, he will never cry ever again for the material world or anything related to the material world. He doesn't care anymore about material happiness or enjoyment at all. That's the real thing, you know. It's not like, oh, I cry for Krishna one day sentimentally, next day I'm crying for Maya, you know. That's mental platform, you know. So we have to go beyond the mental platform and come to the real thing. And what's the real thing? To develop our attraction to Krishna, to develop the desire to see Krishna. When Prabhupada visited the temple in Venezuela, the last day before he left, he gave a short talk early morning, it was 6 in the morning, and he quoted the verse from Upadeshamrita, Utsahan nischayat daryat tat karma pravartanat. So in the lecture, Prabhupada said, Utsaham, enthusiasm is very, very important, he said. And he said, enthusiasm means I must see Krishna in this very life. That is enthusiasm. And of course, he explained, and also that means rejecting unfavorable things, accepting the favorable things, and devotional service. But the eagerness that must be there, that eagerness. That's the price to pay for spiritual perfection. Laulyam, great hankering, lobha, greed, spiritual greed. So that is good, because this feeling of viraha, or feeling separation from Krishna, can burn any amount of past misdeed or sinful desires in the heart, can burn them up. And that's what happened to the great sages, because they were always meditating on the Lord's names and attributes. And that burned away all the all the dirty things they have in their heart were completely smashed, burned. No? Karmani nirdahati kintucha bhakti bhajam. That's the Brahma Samhita explained, that by practicing devotional service, all karmas are burned away. So, it's a great process of purification. And some suffering must be there also. That's part of the purification. Devotees don't get disturbed when are physically or mentally suffering, because they know, because of my past misdeed, I shall be suffering even more. But since I'm trying to be Krishna conscious, Krishna is so kind to me, He's diminishing what I'm actually deserved to have. So I shall be grateful to Krishna, not complaining to Krishna. The complaint shall be, oh, I have no love for you. I have no attraction to devotional service. But you are so kind and merciful. That's my only hope. Any questions? Comment? Please do. They will hopefully.
Yeah, we'll give them some time to think. No, you were just saying about the Mahaprasadam.
Yeah.
When we were in Los Angeles in New Dwarka and Prabhupada was staying upstairs, in his quarters, the servant, at that point it was Nanda Kumar, same thing, used to come down with the, in the afternoon, there would be some cookies, some coconut or some fruit juice, so we would do the same. We pounced all over it. One time it was sugar cookies with peanut butter frosting. And Prabhupada had licked off the frosting and left the cookie. So that was like very special. But the far out thing is that Nanda Kumar asked Prabhupada, we made the cookies, the frosting, you didn't eat the cookie, you just took the frosting. You didn't like the cookie? Prabhupada said, everyone has their own taste. And it was an enlightenment for me that, even in liberation, even in pure Krishna consciousness, we've all got personalities. We've still got likes and dislikes, but everything related to Krishna.
That's very nice. Thank you, Maharaj, for sharing with us. Thank you. All right. Bhakta Bab.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. So our goal is to desire to see Krishna in this life. What if we don't? What if we feel inferior and our only desire is to serve His devotees?
Prabhupada said, first deserve, then desire. First we have to become purified by serving the devotees, by serving the movement that Prabhupada brought to us. So that's part of the purification. It's not something artificially to be done. It will come naturally when the heart will start becoming cleaner and cleaner. Understand? So it doesn't work, okay now, it's not artificial thing. One devotee asked Prabhupada, while chanting japa, is it okay to think of Krishna's pastimes? Prabhupada said, yes, that is required, but don't do it artificially. If it comes naturally, that's all right. But it is good desire. It is a good thing. So, in the same way, we should understand how spiritual life works. We should not try to jump over to a level we are not yet ready for. It will come naturally with the practicing, with the cleaning the heart. Then it will come. But we should know about it. It's there in Prabhupada's books. We should know that we should have some time in the future this kind of aspiration if we get purified enough and develop this hankering, to serve Krishna, to be with Krishna. How many people want to return to God? Yeah. Okay, me too. But I mean, just generally speaking, who wants to return to, who want even to know about God? It's not a very popular subject to speak nowadays. Huh? Huh? Yeah, people want to go to sea. Well, yeah. I went for walking this morning, and I remember Prabhupada, no, in Hawaii. Prabhupada saw the surfers, and Prabhupada called them the sufferers. I feel sorry for them, you know. I went walking, and one guy passed through me, you know, with his board and walking bare-chested. It was a little cold, but I mean, they think this is happiness to drive in the waves, you know. Next life can become a dolphin or something, you know. Can swim even better. Yes.
One question. Just
Please do.
In the translation, it says, these sages who are always chanting your qualities, they burn up unlimited dirty things, and thus they have attained your qualities and are self-satisfied. What does that mean, they have attained your qualities? Krishna had so many qualities.
Well, a minor percentage, of course. No? I mean, according to the Shastra, Krishna has 64 qualities, unlimited. We living entities, when we reach perfection, we can have 50 of those qualities, 78%. Lord Shiva has 55 of those qualities, 84%. Lord Vishnu or Narayan have 60 of those qualities, 93%. So only Krishna has the full 64 qualities. That he has 4 qualities not even any other incarnation has. And these are the Venu Madhurya, the sweet sound of the flute, that which attract the 3 worlds. Even Brahma and Shiva will get bewildered in ecstasy when the sound of the flute goes throughout all the universe and reach their abode. They get in ecstasy. They're trying to understand the beautiful melody Krishna is playing. And they get so eager, they come to Vrindavan to see Krishna playing the flute. And Krishna's friend Madhumangal, he mistakes them for demons, and he starts shouting to his friend, "Bring our weapon, some demon coming to attack Krishna." Yeah. But I'm telling you, don't be funny. These are devatas coming to glorify Krishna, you know. Anyway, and sometimes when Krishna plays certain tune, all living entities, moving living entity, become stunned. They can't move. They're completely in ecstasy. The gopis will be cooking, everything get burned, you know. The calves are drinking from the milk of their mother. Their mouths open, the milk is dripping, and they, with great effort, they try to stretch their ears to catch better the nectar of Krishna's flute. And the unmoving entities, like trees and hills, they start trembling in ecstasy. Although it's not autumn, all the leaves from the tree fall like tears in love for Krishna. And the swans who are swimming in the crystal clear lakes, they close their eyes and enter into samadhi. This is one of them. Then you have Rupa Madhurya, his very sweet, beautiful form, so beautiful, so attractive, that even once he saw his image reflected in a pillar in Dwarka, and when he saw his own image reflected, he said, "Such a beautiful young boy. I wish to be like Radharani to embrace him," you know. Even Krishna was attracted to himself. You know the story in the Krishna book that Arjuna went to Dwarka for a visit, and he entered the palace with Maharaj Ugrasena as the king, and one Brahmana came very angry, shouting, you know, complaining to Ugrasena. What kind of king are you? That in your kingdom, the sons die before their father. That's unnatural. And this happened in your kingdom. Not one time. I already lost 8 sons. You must be something impious you have done, that this to happen in your kingdom. So Ugrasena didn't say anything. Nobody said anything. Everybody was silent, They don't dare to say anything. So the Brahmana left very angry, the palace. And Arjuna followed him behind. And he stopped him. He said, please don't lose faith, because he said, I lost my faith in the Kshatriyas and their protection. They can't protect the Brahmanas anymore, So Arjuna said, I'm also Kshatriya and I feel hurt by what you said. Please give me opportunity to protect your next son. And then, no. Even Krishna Balrama, they can do nothing. You are going to do something? He said, well, I'm Arjuna, but I have my Gandiva bow. And I promised you, even if Yamaraj come to take your son, I will fight him. I will not allow him to take him. And please give me opportunity to do this seva for you. If I can't do it, I promise you, I will light a fire, enter the fire, give up my life. If I can't fulfill my promise to you, to protect your next child. Okay, I will give you opportunity. So the wife was pregnant, the 9th child, and Arjuna was at the door, with Gandiva bow, ready to confront anyone, even death itself. So the boy was born, he started crying, all the family happy, and after a few minutes, everybody crying because the boy died. So the Brahmana came out shouting, Arjuna, you could not protect my son. Arjuna said, I'm going to search for him wherever, So he chanted the mantras, went to Yamaloka, asked Yamaraj, any son of Brahmana from Dwarka came? No. So he went to a different planet with his mantras, He couldn't find the child anywhere. So Arjuna felt defeated. He came back to Dwarka, lighted a big fire. I'm going to jump into it. But Krishna stopped him. No. Don't do that. I know where are the children. Come with me. Jump in my chariot. And they flew up in the sky. They went to heavenly planets, Brahmalok. They went on and entered the Brahma Jyoti. Arjuna's eyes were blinded by the effulgence of Brahma Jyoti. Krishna has to touch his eyes to protect him so he can open his eyes, Finally, they arrived at Mahavishnu Loka. Mahavishnu was sitting in a big throne with Ananta Shesha and being fanned and served there. But as soon as he saw Krishna and Arjuna, he jumped from his seat to greet them. He said, my dear Krishna, I'm so happy, so blissful to see you, to see your beautiful rupa, beautiful form. And I did stole the 9 children. I did it. Because I knew to save your devotee Arjuna, you will come here to take the children back. So I did that. Please excuse me. I was so eager to see your beautiful form. So even, the different avatars of Krishna are eager to see him. So the Brahmana and his wife, they got 9 children at the same time back. They were in ecstasy. Now they want to kill the children before even being born, Such an uncivilized, cruel society, we are living in. It's horrible. Anyway, and then they have the Leela Madhurya, Krishna's sweet pastimes, especially Rasa Leela and childhood pastimes are very, very sweet, You want to hear one childhood pastime? Okay. One day, one evening rather, Mother Yashoda was busy churning, butter, and she told the other gopi, please give Krishna his dinner. So they brought varieties of sweet for Krishna, Pera, Ladu, Rasgulla, Rasmalai, Gulab Jamun, And they offered Krishna, what would you like to eat, Krishna? That night was a full moon, golden night. Krishna pointed to the sky, to the moon. He said, I want to eat that condensed butter up there. The gopi said, Krishna, this is not butter. There's a Rajahamsa, it's a royal swan swimming in the sky. Oh, bring him to me, I play with him. Anyway, Mother Yashoda came and Krishna complained. Krishna said, I wanted to eat that condensed butter, but the gopi said that it's a swan. Who is right? Mother Yashoda said, Krishna is right. Because when the Devatas and Asuras churned the milk ocean, the moon was born from that churning. So to say that the moon is condensed butter is all right, because churning comes butter. And Krishna said, okay, I want to eat it. Mother Yashoda. First Krishna said, ask his mother, in milk ocean? Really? How many cows were needed to create such an ocean? Mother Yashoda said, there was no need of any cows. Krishna said, I don't believe that. If there are no cows, there is no milk. This reminds me, years ago, the TV station went to the schools in Brazil to ask the children, from where milk comes? Say, from the pot, from the bottle, from the cane. Nobody say from cow. City children, maybe they see in the TV a cow, Anyway, so Mother Yashoda told Krishna, Krishna, you're a naive, simple boy. Let me explain to you. The creator of all the cows can create a milk ocean without the need of the cows. Oh, that's wonderful. I didn't know that. Okay, let me have it then. No, Krishna. Do you see these black spots on the moon? This is poison. It will harm you if you eat it. Say, I don't believe such things, You may say the scorpions have poison, the cobras have poison, but the butter, the condensed butter, no, I don't believe such thing. Maya said, you are a naive boy. Let me explain to you. When the Devatas and Asuras start churning the milk ocean, the first thing that came up was a huge wave of poison, which was going to destroy the whole world. And all Devata prayed to Mahadev, Lord Shiva, to save the world. And he shrunk all the poison to fit his hand, and he drank it and kept it in his throat. But some drops fell in the milk ocean, and they touched the moon. That's why moon have those spots. And some other drops, they fell on the shore, and animals like scorpions and snakes, they drank it. That's how they became poisonous. And Krishna said, oh, I never heard about these things. Thank you, Mother, for telling me these wonderful things. So I'm hungry. Give me all the sweets then. Then she took him to bed to sleep, and Krishna said, tell me a story. This thing that children like to hear a story before going to sleep, that's coming from Krishna Lila also. So Mother Yashoda started to tell the Ram Lila to Krishna. And when she came to the part, and Ravana came to kidnap Sita Devi, Krishna was half asleep already, but when he heard that, he started shouting, Lakshman, Lakshman, bring my bow, bring my arrows, let's kill this demon. Mother Yashoda was struck with wonder, at Krishna's reaction. So, the very sweet Krishna Lila. This is from the book by Kavi Karnapur, by the way. Ananda Champu. Anyway, so, and then we have Prema. Prema, the gopis' love for Krishna is so unique, so amazingly wonderful, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that's the best way to worship Krishna in the mood of the gopis. They are with 24 hours absorbed in Krishna and his Leela. No, not Narayan. No one else can have those qualities. Only Krishna. So, any other? No, there is no such baby Narayan. There is a baby Krishna that happened at the Pralaya, at the end of creation, You know this great sage, what is his name? That got good blessing to have the 7 days of the life of Brahma, Markandeya. At the end of annihilation, he was meditating on Krishna, and suddenly the flood came in, and he was struggling, suffering in the middle of the flood. And he saw a small island, or he swam to this island, and then he saw a big banyan tree, and one of the leaves he saw a little boy, bluish boy, sucking his toe. And that was Krishna. Krishna thought, my devotee always looking for the nectar of my lotus feet. Let me try to see what's there, you know. So he was sucking his toe. So he felt so much attraction for this beautiful boy, he came to hug him. But Krishna opened his mouth and absorbed him. And he again was in the water struggling, you know, for his life. Then he saw another island. He saw Surabhi cow on that island. And that was Navadvip. So he got safely to Navadvip, and Surabhi cow instructed him how to chant the names of Lord Gauranga. Anyway, I have a question.
You were saying about, well, thank you for the lecture, of course, but you said something about Prabhupada. You said that surfers were sufferers. But also, they said that swimming is a bona fide activity.
What is bona fide?
Swimming? Swimming.
Swimming is bona fide activity?
Yeah, in the ocean.
It's, yeah. Walking also. Prabhupada used to walk every day. Also. And or surfing or something, you know, like that. No. That's a waste of time, you know. Lord Chaitanya used to swim in the ocean every day when he was living in Jagannath Puri with his devotees. They will play, they splash each other water, and, you know. In the Gundicha, yeah, they did that, so it's okay. But don't forget Krishna, don't think yourself to be enjoyer of the material world, just servant. You know? Mukunda.
Thank you. You included that story with Garuda kind of saving or not saving the bird from Yamaraj. Yeah. And the idea there being that you can't escape destiny, and then destiny in this case being exactly where and when the bird would die. So generally you hear that, and there's probably a reference, I just don't know it, but that there's a set number of breaths in the body, so you can maybe extend your life by, you know, slowing your breaths. But then I didn't have the idea that, I don't know if there is like some reference to the idea that the exact way you'll die or the exact place you'll die is set also or predestined. And I'm wondering, is that the case? Is that like an exception thing, the story? Or, you know, it seems that even, you know, there's a set number of pain and pleasure that each body will have throughout its duration, but then the exact forms of pain, the exact instruments of that pain and pleasure could vary depending on how I, you know, take
of
my
course, Krishna is the only one who can change our karma. Nobody else can change their own karma. Of course, if we surrender to Krishna, of course, Krishna will change our karma. But you are right. Everybody's life is counted how many times he breathed. Yeah. Yeah.
But is it determined I'll be die by a truck, or do I have the option to be by a train, or will I fall down a manhole? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, can this life determine that? Is that predestined with the body, just like the amount of pain and pleasure and duration?
Yeah. Yes. That is predestined in the sense of our activities, you know, I mean, karmana daivata netrena, I mean, the providence knows what you are supposed to have. The important thing is not how we die, or this way or that way. Prabhupada, once in the morning walk in Caracas, Venezuela, he said, people think to die in a car accident or this or that, that's bad. But if I die peacefully in my bed with my family, that's good. But when we tell them we have a process not to die anymore, they are not interested. So the idea is not how, which way we die, but what type of consciousness we have at the time of death. That's the most important thing. No? Actually, Prabhupada went to Kumbh Mela for preaching, and he spoke with some yogis, and he commented to his disciple later that some of these yogis have 300 years, 400 years, even one was 700 years old. What they were shocked, how is that possible, They didn't look that old, that Prabhupada said that's mystic power from pranayama, They control their breathing and they can elongate their life. But Prabhupada said the devotees are not interested in that because they know if I surrender to Krishna in this very life, when I die, Krishna will take him with him. So why to elongate our life? Why to make it longer, the separation from Krishna? Let us die naturally when we are supposed to die, but be fully Krishna conscious. Prabhupada said in California there's a tree 5,000, 7,000 years old. Yeah. And what is the use of living so much if, Lord Chaitanya lived only 48 years. Yes, Bhakta Bob.
Okay, so as Mukunda was saying, we have a certain number of breaths. Sometimes when people take drugs, it makes them breathe very rapidly.
Yeah, not only that, when they have sex also they breathe very rapidly.
So one can assume that that's short.
That shorten their lives, of course. Hare Krishna.
What about like if you go on a jog or you're swimming, or doing like an activity that makes you breathe really fast?
If you're doing for Krishna service. Yeah, go ahead. We have answer for all these things.
It's true that you breathe faster, of course, when you exercise. But as you exercise, you're improving your health and your fitness, and then you breathe slower the rest of the day. The most fit guys are like 40, 50 breaths a minute, and normal is 60. But if you're really out of shape, you're breathing all the time. You're breathing faster, and that's so.
But actually, it is advisable to walk, not to run, because running makes the heart increase its size, and then you have to keep running, otherwise you will have problems, heart problems. So it's better exercise to walk fast than to run, according to medical science. Okay. Well, dancing is another story. Dancing is transcendental. You dance for Krishna, that's you're making spiritual advancement. Yes, Balaram Prabhu.
Sometimes it's kind of on a different note, but about serving the spiritual master, sometimes disciples, they kind of want, you could say, because there's general instructions, okay, chant 16 rounds, follow the 4 general instructions, and then there's specific instructions. So sometimes disciples, they want some specific instructions, and they're wondering, okay, how do I serve my spiritual master? I don't know, maybe you could just comment on that idea.
Well, there are general instructions that the spiritual master gives for all his disciples, and there are maybe particular instruction according to the person, situation or needs, and they can ask the spiritual master, and sure the spiritual master will give them the personal instruction. The Guru wants to see all disciples happily engaged in Krishna's service. That's his main concern. Once a devotee asked Prabhupada, how can I please you? Prabhupada said, your desire to please me pleases me. So it's a question of feeling, Prabhupada appreciate that, you have a nice desire. That's good. So it's more important what we do is the state of consciousness we have in doing it. Understand? Is more important than the service itself, the mentality we have doing this service, any service. Prabhupada said, I created so many engagement in this Krishna consciousness movement just to keep devotees busy. But actually, just chanting is good enough. Understand? If you develop real attachment to chanting, that is good enough. But activity should be there. If there is a mission, we are preaching, so preaching is very important to help other people, of course. That's the main thing in Krishna consciousness, to help other people become Krishna conscious. Isn't? So, very good, thank you. Hare Krishna, Jai Srila
Hare
Prabhupada ki.
Krishna.
Okay,
Maharaj, just a quick question.
go ahead.
Maharaj, my obeisances. The translation related to the verse you chose for today says that even for those who feel spiritual bliss in chanting your attributes, your personal presence is very rare. End quote. Maharaj, if the presence of the Lord is very rare, why is it that we find Lord Chaitanya's movement spreading nowadays like wildfire?
Because Lord Chaitanya said in Kali Yuga, I will be present in three forms: the holy name, the deity, and the prasad. So the Lord is present in this movement in these three ways. And everybody who come in touch with Him through any of these three ways will get the benefit of His personal presence.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Prabhupada. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai.